How has it been for you this past week or two?
Everyone emails saying that there are incredible threats against law enforcement and families. I mean, to the point where, they were telling you if you have stickers on your car, if you have patches on your dashboard, if you have police plates, you might want to take precautions, get a change, and leave it. I mean, people get cussed out, people get shot at, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. I mean, that's not often, but I mean, it's happened.
I mean, have you been tempted to not go to work?
No, but I can't say that. I know that the job is tough, but I know I signed up for it. I couldn't be home and know that my coworkers are out there. Possibly something could happen.
What are your thoughts about the Freddie Gray case and how the police department is being portrayed?
That's a tough question. I feel horrible for the family. I know it's a horrible circumstance that I cannot relate to. The biggest thing that I can see that wasn't done that should have been done is to buckle him. So, from my understanding, that is a departmental policy, and I could see being charged departmentally for that.
When I see what he goes through every night, it's very hard to not sympathize with him and the police and the officers that were arrested, and it's hard to, given what the media has put out there and the facts that we know, it just seems very extreme, especially now that we have a little one at home. It's even harder, because I don't want him to grow up without a dad, and this week it's been an eye-opener.
You hate yourself, but you know you're wrong.
I feel like there's no words for some of the things that we saw, how they've treated police as a whole, and that's not how they all are. And so, of course, being a police wife, I'm defensive, and I care about my husband, so if it brings about a whole different kind of stress, like you worry about them coming home safe in the morning.
What about the fact that the 6 police officers were charged? How do you think that is going to affect some type of resolution coming about?
I guess if you think about the officers who were not there, and they see the footage and they see the case as a drug dealer ran, he got caught, he got hurt. I don't know the circumstances around him getting hurt, but there's no footage of them doing it. So a lot of the officers, I could see them saying, we're wrong no matter what. So if you want them to be proactive in patrolling, trying to catch people, I could see them not being interested in doing that.
I think they're making an example, but now I have it in my head that just one little mistake or being associated with someone else who makes the wrong decision could impact our entire lives.
What is the solution, do you think?
Anything that gets the police working with the community. Some local schools did like field trips with us to a park, did field team building with kids that were local in our area that we worked, and I thought that was really good.
And I think having other things in place, like the cameras, and most cops and officers would be all for it, because they want people, and I think it would give people a perspective of what they go through.
I can see why they may not be thrilled to see us, or be upset about their situation, but at the same time, just like they don't want us to discriminate against them, I don't want them to discriminate against me. I know.
As the star quarterback for 13 seasons with the New York Jets, Joe Namath took his fair share of hard hits.
I didn't pay much attention to the fact that I had been hit in the head several times.
Knowing now what you know about traumatic brain injury, would you play football again?
No. I hate to say that because if I had a child that wanted to play, I'd let him play, but I'd wait until later on, you know, I developed a little more. This instrument that we have, that we've been blessed with, it's not designed for the kind of contact and the physical abuse that your body takes playing that sport.
This is Mr. Namath's first scan he had before he started treatment.
Nearly 3 years ago, Namath reached out to Dr. Lee Fox at Jupiter Medical Center. The Hall of Famer was worried whether several concussions during his career caused any permanent damage.
He knew he wasn't 100%, but he didn't realize that he really had significant problems.
Here's a look at Namath's brain scans from 2012. One side of his brain, the area that's yellow and orange, shows normal blood flow and function. On the other side, the purple and blue area, the brain cells weren't getting the oxygen they needed.
That's a big difference.
It's a difference, but both sides should be the same, and we actually see a very big difference between his two temporal lobes.
When you first saw that scan and you saw that there were some issues, that had to be pretty worrisome.
I was scared, of course. I said, oh no. No, absolutely.
Namath became the first patient in what would become a groundbreaking clinical trial at Jupiter Medical Center. For 7 months, 5 days a week, he spent an hour inside one of these hyperbaric oxygen chambers. Oxygen has long been used to treat wounds. Doctors wanted to see if it could heal traumatic brain injuries by waking up damaged cells and revitalizing them. Dr. Barry Miskin is the medical director of hyperbarics.
What it does is it uses oxygen as a drug, and it takes oxygen under pressure, and the oxygen is able to get to areas that normally it wouldn't be able to get to because of injured tissue by putting it at higher pressures.
When did you start to see some improvement or feeling a little better?
After the first 40 dives, we took another series of cognitive tests, and we took another brain scan, and we saw improvement then in both areas.
After the first round of treatment, you already saw significant improvement.
We saw, basically, he normalized the scan.
The scans say it all. Remember that first look? This was Namath's brain. Now look at it. The damage? Gone.
Scan's beautiful, and I really feel like I've gotten sharper, yes.
Actress Helen Hunt here. She wrote, directed, and stars in the new movie Ride, all about a hard-working New York City magazine editor who jets out to LA after her son drops out of college to surf, and she winds up on the ride of her life. Take a look.
You've never done this before?
No, but I'm in very good physical condition.
You must have a lot of money. You're staying in a nice hotel. You've hired me for a second day in a row. I think you should get an instructor.
I don't need some illiterate teenager telling me how to lie on my belly and splash my arms in the water. I live in the most challenging city in the country. I can navigate a few small waves in sunny Santa Monica.
That goes on your leg.
And that's just the beginning. We are happy to have Helen Hunt here with us. And you know what? I understand that your first surfing experience actually, in part, inspired you to write this movie.
Yeah, I had a surf lesson with I don't know, even remember his name, but he yelled at me for an hour, put me on, like, kind of as if you were surfing on 8th Avenue, like 50 soft tops all crashing into each other. I got out of the water and I was not humbled. I was humiliated and had tears in my throat. Never again. I will never again.
Famous last words.
Well, I thought anything that has me this upset, I should do it again and write about it. So that's how this movie, as you can see.
And targeted all of those pictures we're seeing, you did nearly all of the surfing stunts, and there are quite a few painful wipeouts.
Yeah, that wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but it's not hard to fall off a surfboard. All the
It's hard to get
surfing,
back on it.
Yeah, the surfing is me, and most of the wiping out is me, but there's a couple of spectacular wipeouts that I had some help with, too.
You wrote, you directed, and you star in this movie. So when you've written a film and you're directing it, how does that impact your acting?
It's really just doing all three of those things in the Pacific Ocean that kind of tilts the whole thing into kind of a hallucinogenic version of itself. But, I mean, it was fun. Really, I've never had as much fun making a movie as I had making this movie. We were working hard, but we were playing like kids in the ocean. It was pretty great.
It definitely shows. So in Ride, you play Jackie, a big city magazine editor who has a fairly neurotic relationship with her son. He drops out of school, moves to California to become a surfer. You follow him and you basically stalk him.
Yeah, she can't drive because why should she learn how to drive? And so she hires a driver to schlep her surfboard around. I don't see what's weird about that. And follows him until she literally rear ends him in the streets of Venice. And he says, "You're crazy and you don't understand me. Don't talk to me till you can stand up on a surfboard." So the bulk of the story is this very unlikely woman doing a thing she's not so comfortable doing.
A lot of layers to this story. Your surf instructor is played by Luke Wilson, who also becomes your love interest. What is
If you were writing a movie, wouldn't you write that
Hello?
Luke Wilson
Yes.
was your surf instructor love interest?
I like how you roll.
I wasn't born yesterday.
What is the movie ultimately about?
It's about, I see all these soccer moms and hockey moms and surf moms in LA, and all the kids are out there playing. It's about flipping that around and getting in the water or the trampoline or get out the finger paints and have fun ourselves.
I love it. And it was great to see Paul Reiser from your old co-star there supporting you in LA on the red carpet.
Yeah, he's one of my dearest friends. I'm probably here because of him. So.
Oh, well, you're here because you wrote, directed, and starred in your movie. But thank you, Helen Hunt, as always.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Opens